Hey guys, Rich with Rich Rebuilds here, and I know I promised you an update on my Tesla Model X flood build this week, but I got tied up and things just went terribly wrong with it. I mean, this car is going to kill me. Literally going to kill me. Everything is wrong with it. Who knew that buying a Tesla that was underwater would be so difficult to fix? I didn't know that. I wish someone told me. That was sarcasm. I'm about 2 Moscow mules away from sending it to the crusher, but needless to say, the next few installments of the Model X build are where things get pretty painful. Lots of heartbreak, lots of stress and disappointment, and when I did my Model S, Dolores, it was much easier than the X and far less complicated. Dolores was one of the first Teslas ever made 7 years ago, and Tesla has come a long way in terms of sophistication, complexity, and security. Either way, I'm sure I'll figure it out, or you'll see a pretty cool video of me driving it directly into the ocean. I'm hoping to have an update on that next week. I also didn't get a chance to post an update this week because I had to prep for a speech at the Lars Anderson Automotive Museum yesterday in Brookline, Massachusetts. And also somehow edit 4 hours worth of footage into 15 minutes without you guys complaining and work at my full-time job. That's right, my full-time job. Forgot to remind you guys that I have a full-time job, and every time I hear you guys complain about the electric Porsche and its status, and also the fact that I haven't finished Angela, just remember I have a full-time job, a family, and everything you see is done on weekends or on weeknights between the hours of 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. I'm also trying to grow my channel and start a business, but I have some cool stuff for you guys. I got more how-tos, more electric conversion reviews, the circle track car, the electric wide-body Porsche. Lee and I are up to no good as usual. I cut an electric smart car in half for no reason just to see what was inside, and more how-tos, shenanigans, and collabs with other YouTubers. I'm not the only YouTuber doing crazy EV stuff. You can expect some crazy stuff coming from myself and Damien in the future, so make sure to check him out. Now here are a few announcements. The electrified garage, well, construction has started. They dug a big hole in the ground, filled it with rocks, and now they're waiting to pour the concrete. And the older I get, the more I realize that working with contractors and construction in general is made of hopes and dreams. As in, I hope it gets done, and I'm dreaming on what it will look like when it's actually done. But it's coming along, and my estimates say it should be done by December 35th of the year 3000. But we did get some pretty big boxes in. We have our tire machine equipment from Chem, and we can't wait to unbox it and start using it. Soon after that, we're going to start shipping the perks for the Indiegogo. On an unrelated note, I was watching Kim from Like Tesla in Complete Darkness, and apparently Tesla has reintroduced its Referral Code program, and I have to share this quote from Tesla with you guys. Tesla makes the safest cars in the world, according to U.S. government testing, so every referral also helps reduce the probability of injury or death. So I say to that, do you love your family? If so, do you want to see them hurt? No, you don't. Then use my referral code. Buy a Tesla, use my code, save a life. You don't want people out there dying. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to win anything because I don't know how random the random drawing is. But hey, at least when you buy a Tesla, you aren't driving any of the millions of other unsafe cars on the road. And that was also sarcasm. But anyways, last but certainly not least, a few weeks ago, I was on the front page of the Boston Globe. Yes, it was below the fold, but I couldn't compete with the kid playing in the snow. That article was shared around, and a week later, Joe Rogan tweeted the article saying how cool it was. Well, needless to say, I was contacted to be on his show, and yes, I'm going to be on Joe Rogan. Yes, Joe Rogan. Remember the podcast where this happened? Well, yeah, I'm going to be on it too. Will I smoke? I have no idea, but it's bound to be entertaining. April 30th is the day. Mark it on your calendars. I'm also going to be out in Cali for a couple weeks, visiting some other people out there. Maybe I'll plan a meetup of some sort. So if any Tesla fanboys want to take me out, I'll let everyone know what airline I'm flying in on so you could call the snipers in. So today we're going to talk about the Model 3. The Model 3 is the car I feared the most since Tesla announced it, but not for the reason you think. It's a great car, but because of the lower price point, people that normally would have no business buying a Tesla can now afford one, thus adding to the Tesla fanboy population, which is at an all-time high. Please welcome your new AirPod-wearing, vegan, yoga-teaching, white pants enthusiast that the DMV has to work round the clock for to pump out all of the new vanity plate requests. Now, when the Model 3 first came out, they were pretty scarce. In 2017, there were only a handful of cars, and they only went to employees. 5 months later, they started going to non-employees, and at the end of 2017, they were pumping out 100 cars a week. And in 2018, they shot over 5,000 cars per week. So what started happening was the people that stood in line for hours waiting to hand over their hard-earned cash for something that only existed on paper, a lot of them had in the back of their minds that they would lay a certain amount of money down, take the tax credit, drive the car for a while, take some photos for the gram, and then sell the car to someone else for profit. People didn't want to wait months for their Model 3 being built, so they just bought them used from a third party. Now, the Model 3 is the car to have right now. It's hot, it's hip, it's a car that everyone wants to be in, and a few years ago I did a video talking about the Model 3 and whether or not it was a good buy. Tesla promised a $35,000 car, but instead we got a $50,000 car. But it was still cool and everyone wanted it. It sold like crazy, but now Tesla introduced the actual $35,000 car as promised, and now people are going even crazier. Tesla's production has ramped up significantly, and now you don't have to wait months for a Model 3, you only have to wait a matter of weeks. Now, unfortunately, not everyone has realized this, and it's creating a very awkward situation where people that are selling their cars think that you have to wait months for Model 3. They haven't actually caught up to the actual market pricing either. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are going to hate me for this, but I'm doing this for the greater good. I don't want to see anyone looking at a Model 3 getting ripped off. You don't have to wait forever to get a Model 3 anymore. The only time you have to wait months to get a Tesla is if you buy a used Model X. This is me checking Model 3 owners to keep them honest. Now, I recently bought a pair of AirPods and a pair of white jeans, so I figured naturally it was time for me to buy a Model 3. I went to onlyusetesla.com, and this red Model 3 caught my eye. For $60,000, I figured maybe it was a performance model, and at the very least, it would have a gold brick in the front. But I looked through the photos, and I didn't see any gold bricks, and it's definitely not a performance model. Now, $60,000 sounds like a lot, so let's build this same car on Tesla's website to see how much they go for it. So we picked a dual motor all-wheel drive option, and we're at $59,000 before savings. By the way, the before saving and after saving things drives me crazy because I may be saving on fuel costs, which is awesome. However, my insurance is double the price of any car I've ever owned, whether it's on my Model X or my Model S. Insurance is absolutely crazy. So we picked the car, hit next, standard wheels, red color, black interior, full self-driving and autopilot are already selected. The price is $59,000. So you can get that guy's used car with free curb rash for $60,000, or you can get a brand new one for $59,000 in a few weeks. And to add a little insult to injury, they will also be collecting the tax credit on this car this year, which makes it more of a difficult pill to swallow. Now let's look at another example. 2018 white, dual motors and 18-inch aerial wheels. It's listed as having autopilot hardware, which they all do, and it's listed at $54,500. It has 11 miles on it. So, okay, let's build that same exact car. White with aerial wheels, no autopilot. That's a $50,000 car, and they're asking $54,500. And they'll also be getting the tax credit for this car as well. This car only has 11 miles on it. 11 miles on a Model 3. You didn't even drive to show your friends the car. It makes me think the goal for this vehicle was to claim the tax credit, take the money, and run. But before we get into the next car, let's hear a word from this episode's sponsor. You ever feel like you're being watched? Well, if you're using the public Wi-Fi, then you probably are. Are you using the public Wi-Fi? Oh, you are. Are you using ExpressVPN? No? Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop you right there. Using public Wi-Fi with no VPN, hackers or snoops can infiltrate those networks and use them to collect personal details or sensitive login information. But for less than $7 per month with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you can use ExpressVPN. I use it because it encrypts my internet data and prevents others from sniffing my information over the network. I simply choose a VPN location and connect, and I'm free to browse in privacy. Take back your internet privacy today and find out how you can get 3 months free by clicking in the link in the description box below. expressvpn.com/richrebuilds. Take back your internet privacy today with ExpressVPN. Okay, great. Now back to the next car. It's a Model 3 long range, white, direct from Tesla with no AP. That's a $46,000 car you'll get in 2 weeks. Not only that, but if you zoom in on the spec sheet, the car was $56K. They drove it for 5,000 miles, claimed the tax credit, and now are turning it around and selling it for $55K. It's almost like depreciation didn't even exist to this person. One above it, asking $59K. You can build that same car with enhanced autopilot. It's a $54,000 car. So let me break it down for you. If you're buying a used Model 3 long-range dual motor, don't pay more than $58,000 with autopilot. No full self-driving, $53,000, and without anything at all, $50,000. For the long-range rear-wheel drive with full autopilot, $54,000 is probably the ceiling. Without full self-driving, $49,000, and without any of those autopilot options, I wouldn't pay more than $46,000 used. That's just me personally. Obviously, premium interior, what wheels you pick on color will make a difference, but most people choose the basics and only really change the battery, motor, and autopilot options. Now, as you know, this is Rich Rebuild, so I have to take a look at what Model 3s go for auction as well. And I find this gem here. White, basic wheels. It'll need a new rear hatch, bumper, and quarter panel. Good luck sourcing that stuff. It will also need a taillight and charge port, and it's also listed as not running or driving for the eye-watering price of $40,000 cash, when you could just walk down to the store and buy a new car from Tesla for $46,000. But to be fair here, there are good deals out here. This is one of my favorites, and I personally think that someone got a really good deal. This red 2017 Model 3 runs and drives for $17,900. Someone was fishing around and pulled out the rear seats, which is pretty suspect, but it does run and drive. No airbags went off, and you'd probably have to reach out to the old owner for the valet mode pin. Now, the last car is a pretty interesting one. This one was only 19.4, front end damage, the airbags went off, but this damage looks oddly suspicious. It looks like the hood was folded back into place, but if you look at the auction from 4 months ago, there we go, now we're talking. This is what a car post-accident looks like. If you also look at the curtain, airbags went off, and the hood was bent back into place for the second and more updated auction. Mysteriously, 4 months ago, you'll also see the car did not run or drive, nor did it have keys, but for some reason after it sold, it ran drive and the keys were mysteriously found. I just hope that the curtain airbags were replaced and not just cut back and the headliner tucked back into place. Well, either way, guys, thank you for listening. I have to head back to my full-time job now, so I'll see you guys next week. New videos every week, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will talk to you all soon.